Hi. Today we're talking about the Monty Hall problem. It is not a cognitive bias. It might fall into mental model because it's about probabilities. So we're playing Monty Hall.
It's math stuff.
It's
here.
Math. Yeah, it's funny math.
It's funny math.
The
It's that new math stuff. Remember that?
Monty Hall was the host of a show called The Price. No, not The Price is Right. Let's Make a Deal.
Yeah.
And the people in the audience dressed up in crazy costumes to try to get picked so they could
How to get his attention.
and they stood. But anyway, there were 3 doors, and people got to. He gave them a chance to pick a door, and then he would give them some incentive to switch or take something else, and we played with that. Okay. So the Monty Hall problem, this isn't something that actually happened on the show, as far as I know, but it's about whether or not you should take that offer to switch. So here's how it goes.
Okay.
There's a car behind one door.
Okay.
There's 3 doors.
Okay.
Three doors.
Okay.
There's a car behind one door. There's a goat behind each of the other 2 doors.
Okay.
Okay. You want the car? Just to.
I don't want to go.
Okay.
You know.
So he lets you pick a door. You pick door number 1.
Okay.
Okay. Now.
Like door number 1. Okay.
So door number 1, you had a 1 in 3 chance of having the car, right?
Right.
All right. So now he shows you what's behind door number 2, and it's a goat. And then he says, okay, do you want to switch? Do you want to change your answer and switch from door number 1 to door number 3, or do you want to keep the door you picked? So what would you say? Now you've got 2 doors to choose from. You got the one you picked already and the second door. What's your odds of getting the car if you switch?
Well, I would say 1 or 2, but you're going to tell me I'm wrong. Right?
Well, a lot of people said that, and a lot of people were mistaken.
Okay.
It actually turns out you've got a 2/3 chance by switching. You've got a 1/3, 1 out of 3 chance if you keep the door you picked.
Okay.
And you've got a 2 out of 3 chance of getting the car if you switch. So you should always switch in that situation.
Okay.
Okay, and here's the tricky part.
So I get the car?
Sure, it's out in the driveway.
Oh, no.
Big ribbon on it.
Hey.
Give me 5 minutes.
Yeah.
So we start with 3 doors, and there's a 1 in 3 chance.
Okay.
You pick one, so you've got a 1 in 3 chance, right?
Okay.
Or 33%. All right. So then you've got 2 doors left. So the other 2 doors, there's 2 out of 3 chances.
Okay.
Okay. So a 66% chance of picking of one of those being the car.
Okay.
Either one.
Okay.
Okay. The combination.
Okay.
Okay. This is the trick. When Monty shows what's behind one of those doors, the probabilities haven't changed. You still have a 1 out of 3 chance for the one you picked, and now the one that's still hidden that you can switch to still has 2 out of 3 chances of being the car. So you've got the probabilities are twice as high if you switch. 66% chance versus a 33% chance. So you should always switch.
I'll remember that.
So that's the tricky part. Now, if we had started from the very beginning, if there were only 2 doors, then you had a 50-50 chance, one out of 2.
Okay.
Right? But because you started with 3, the door you picked had a 1 out of 3. That doesn't change. Even though he shows you what's behind another door, you still have the 1 out of 3 hasn't changed. But the 2 out of 3 for the other 2 doors collapsed to the 1 door.
Okay.
Okay? If you did that with 100 doors,
okay?
If you picked 1 door, you've got 1 out of 100 chance, right?
Right.
Or 1%. Okay? If there's a 99% chance that behind one of those other 99 doors, there's a car, right? Because you took away 1. You picked 1, so you got a 1% chance there, 99% behind some one of those other doors. Now, if they start showing goats behind those other doors, and they showed 98 goats, and there was only 1 door left, there's a 99% chance of a car being behind that door, and a 1% chance of the car being behind the door you picked. Do you want to switch?
Oh, heck yeah.
Okay. So this is not, like we said, a mental model or a cognitive bias, but it's I would say it's close to a mental model in
I would
terms
think
of
so.
understanding probabilities. You know,
And being aware.
seeing how the probabilities collapsed like
Yeah.
that, very rare thought process. And so that's the thing where mental models, understanding probabilities. There's another probability thing that I saw way back, and I think it was something like if you put so many people in a room, like at a party, 30 people in a room, the chances of 2 people having the same first name was like 70% or something. It was way high. And it was shocking, but they were able to demonstrate that. So some of these probability things that are just not obvious can be very useful. And you know, if you happen to find yourself picking between door number 1 and door number 2, now you know.
Now I know.
So thanks so much for spending a few minutes with us, and we look forward to seeing you in another video.
Bye.
Bye-bye.